And welcome to my first video of 2025. Now, I haven't uploaded since the Home Alone video. My one's chill out from work, but no, I've been working on something. But I don't know fully, but with Why Does No One Remember, I feel like we haven't been, digging away too much. I mean, look at the movies, the pantheon we've looked at so far. All of them, I didn't mind. Sure, there's Home and Harry Hill, but those movies are... But while I didn't like those movies, I still maintain that they probably just weren't for me. Kids will like Home, and fans of pure comedy will like the Harry Hill movie. What about... But, so, maybe I should find a truly bad movie for this, for a video. Well, why not 2? Here is Why Does No One Remember the Planes Duology. Yeah, so this is obviously going to be a very different WD Nor. Not only are we looking at a movie which is considered to be truly terrible, and I didn't even like as a kid myself, we are also looking at 2 movies instead of 1, which are also part of a franchise. So obviously, unlike the other videos, we're not really going to go over the whole franchise here. If they got like a video game or anything like that. Or we're only going to be sticking to the movies for this one. I want this because the other material is usually on the Cars franchise, because Planes is a spin-off to the Cars franchise. Everyone knows this, or who knows about this movie. Because this movie is, I think this movie is genuinely forgotten. I don't think it's well known. Like, at all, really. Okay, so, as per usual, let's talk about the production. Planes is based on a concept created by John Lasseter, who, despite the movie not being by Pixar, John Lasseter served as producer of this movie. Was this really Lasseter's favorite franchise? He focused a lot of time on it, more than he did even Toy Story. Seriously. So the writers made a conscious effort to not remake Cars in a new setting, which... Really? Okay. So they reused the characters of Skipper and Sparky from the Cars 2 episode Animator, which, despite saying that I'm not going to talk about the entire franchise, maybe I'll cover that, but if I covered it, it should have been at the beginning of the video. Whatever, I don't know. I have no idea. Probably gonna watch it anyway, but still. Now, they conducted research by interviewing several pilots of planes included in the movies. There was John Cryer was initially announced as the voice of the main protagonist, Dusty, but later dropped out, probably because he realized that the script was shit, and was replaced by Dane Cook. I have no idea who either of these actors are. But, okay, so, Planes is just a special case. I mean, again, I don't think that many people know it exists. Most people who do know it exists, say it's worse than Cars 2, which is a big claim for a lot of people. I know Cars 2 has its fans, but I don't hear many of these fans talk about Planes. I mean, maybe they like it too, but I doubt this movie doesn't have fans, right? Oh wait, it does, doesn't it? Well, maybe just the, I don't know. Maybe I'll become a fan, because, again, I haven't seen these movies since I was a kid. They're a unique case, because I didn't like them as a kid. Every movie we've covered so far, I've liked as a kid. I've enjoyed, to some extent. These movies, I did not like. No matter what I think of the movies now, as a kid, I loved them. Even movies like Home, and especially Harry Hill. But right now, I think we've done with our production. Here is the review of the first movie, and we'll find out if this movie and this duology is really overhated, or if it deserves everything it gets. Okay, so that was just happened, I guess. Yeah, this movie wasn't even near as bad as I thought. I don't know what I fully expected, but I expected annoying characters, a nonsensical plot, basically an incredibly frustrating movie. And while there was a bit of that, this movie was mostly just dull. Nothing much happened in the plot. A lot of the stuff that happened was just incredibly generic. It's not outrageously bad or anything. Honestly, I don't expect this review to be that long. Dusty is a very standard protagonist. There's nothing really to like or dislike about him, although he doesn't really need to learn a lesson. His biggest arc is facing his fears. Fears of heights, and even then, that isn't brought up for a lot of the movie. It's not really considered that great. I don't know, really. Because came out of nowhere, and again, it's not that. So, yeah. He's a crop duster, and he basically just wants to be a racer. So it's basically like a prequel to Cars, if Cars 2 was essentially entirely based on the World Tour thing. So it's basically a mix between the first Cars and the second Cars. And the third Cars as well, because I guess it's about an aspiring racer. So I guess it's a mix between all the Cars movies. And yes, I know Planes was made before Cars 3, so maybe Cars 3 took ideas from Planes? I don't exactly know. I don't know, okay? Let's talk about the other characters for a second, shall we? Skipper is just Doc Hudson, but less interesting. There's a villain who is just chick hicks. but in the movie a little more and less funny. Everything else is weird. I don't know what to think anymore about these. So the movie is standard, I guess. I guess it's not that bad, and it's not that much to report. If you want to ask me, is it worse than Cars 2? Because if you watch my Pixar video, you know that I am not one of the fans I mentioned. I do not like the movie. I gave them both a 4 out of 10 on Letterboxd. So if you follow me on there, you're probably also wondering if I stand with the general opinion. Honestly, I think they both ran about on the same level, but if I had to pick which one I'd watch again, I think it will have to be Cars 2, simply because I don't like being bored. More than that. Yeah, the story is just boring. I guess the only annoying character to complain about is the stalker best friend guy. I have seen so many annoying best friend characters recently. I'm doing another movie marathon for a future video, and you're gonna hear me complain a lot about annoying characters in there. But just wonder what that is now. But annoying. But this guy is just a stalker of this girl, and he just gets them in there. And again, these characters are burly characters. They don't do much. There's like this twist about like this girl betrayed Dusty, but like they only had one good conversation, and like when she is supposed to change and stand up to the villain, and like Dusty forgives her, you feel nothing because they have one good conversation. I mean, it's just weird. And also the animation is a bit bad. World building is bad, don't get me wrong. It's dumb how like it's even worse than like Cars, because like what is with planes in anime? If like Cars are like this, like they keep saying that like are planes built or born? Because there are some lines which say they were set, which said that 2 planes were separated at birth. I don't even want to know what that means, but in other ones they said that the Dusty's the fastest crop duster plane ever built, or something like that. And like, so are planes, and by extension all vehicles in Arizona, are they built or born? I want to know that, okay? But maybe this was an issue bad and shines through more here because this one's bad. I don't know, honestly. I know this review section has probably been short, and probably as short as some of the times I talk from my Pixar segments are, but honestly, there's not much to say about this movie, and that is good, because if there was, then this video, then I have to talk about 2 movies in this video, except one instead of one. So it's best if I don't say much about one movie if I want to keep this to a reasonable length, and not the length of one of my big videos like my franchise deep dives or rankings or hour videos or any other big videos I do. Now, let's talk about the reception. Now, let's talk about the critical response first. Now, so it has probably the lowest, actually definitely the lowest rating out of every movie we've covered here on Rotten Tomatoes, being a whopping 25 5%. Isn't that so high? Isn't that so high? I mean, so yeah, this movie wasn't well received by critics, like, at all, whatsoever, and not by audiences either. I mean, it's not like the popcorn meter is much higher. But it has enough. The views are so negative. Yeah, but it doesn't really do any boringness or something. I don't know, but I do think this movie's a little overhated with these critic reviews. Just, it does deserve bad reception. But what about box office? What did it do there? Well, actually did pretty well, the box office. Despite the negative reception, it grossed 240 million in total of a $50 million budget, which is a decent success. It's not like a big success or anything, but they still made back their money. It was still one of the biggest box office successes of the series. I did not know that it was so successful at the box office, to be honest. I thought it was a flop, both places, but no. But, yeah. But what about the sequel? Was the sequel as badly received, or as just this? Well, maybe. But of course, we're gonna be weird and circle back to the production of the second one, I guess. So, Planes kind of shocked people a little with it being a very short gap between its original and its sequel, which, well, it wouldn't make any of these lists. For an animated franchise, especially one between its first and second one, well, let's just say that it would have been like almost equivalent to if they actually went ahead with Spider-Man Beyond the Spider-Verse with that original dates. It would have been comparable to that. But that was already a proven success. Planes was not. But yet, both movies were being planned at the same time. Despite the fact that they didn't know the original Planes would be successful. I mean, it was. We just talked about how it did have box office success. But like, production on Planes, Fire and Rescue, it began 6 months after the start of the previous movie. So, they were really confident, I guess, that like at least the first movie was going to be successful. And I think they were really lucky. If the first movie both was a critical flop and a box office flop, people will question why this movie was even made. But yeah, even though if they look it up, it was already in production long before the first movie came out, which I don't think you should even do that with sequels unless it's like a big adaptation like the series which should not be named, or like any others. I mean, it's just confusing of how people do this without knowing. Like, same with like TV show seasons in production before the first one even airs. Unless you know, like, between 2 and 3, unless you know that it's going to be a successful product somehow, don't ever do that! It just... never mind. never mind. Okay, so they said that the first film was a race film, and the director wanted to look at a different genre, an action disaster film, because that totally worked out well with Cars 2. But the film, so they researched the world of air attack teams and smoke and like a lot of things, which is incredibly weird for a film about planes fighting fires. And see if the research was just, I mean, it's just, yeah. So he didn't go back. So I do wonder why this movie was made. All this production thing is weird for a sequel, because I don't really think there's much to know other than he did a lot of research for the movie, which is good. It's good he did a lot of research to see what the movie was like, how crop dusters were involved in firefighting. I do think they went along with it. In my opinion, I fear for this movie. I fear for watching this. While he did obviously do a lot of research, I think the first movie focused on racing so much, and how much Dusty wanted to be a racer, and how much that was his dream. But I am genuinely wondering how they can pull it off. I mean, I didn't like the first movie. I just talked about why I thought it was incredibly fucking dull. But who knows anymore? Who knows? I don't know what. This movie just feels like it's going to be worse than the first one. Not only because a lot of people think it's worse, but because, to me, it doesn't sound like it would be a good sequel to the first movie. Like, but maybe I could be wrong. Maybe this movie could be so much better than the first one, and I actually somehow like it. This is gonna be like Buck Wild, isn't it? Where the next one is, where the next segment is me complaining about how it's the worst movie ever. Well, it wasn't the worst movie ever. Now, Planes 2 is fucking abysmal for most of the movie. For the last 30 minutes, kinda becomes a good movie? I don't know, but we'll get to that. Let's just talk about the abysmal stuff first. Okay, so this movie, well, a lot of my worries about it as a sequel weren't totally true. There were a few things which I was right about. For one, Dusty is the only character from the first movie to appear in a significant way, and he's the protagonist. The only other characters in the movie are the ones at the junction which Dusty goes to do. At Rockworth Junction, which like Skipper and other guys, they all live. They're the only ones in the movie. The racers don't appear in the movie at all, including his girlfriend from the previous movie, and this new, and the, I mean, I don't know. And also the annoying stalker best friend racer guy. He's not in it either. Isn't that good? If it's good, cool. No annoying characters in this movie. Wait, what? They replaced him? Damn it. Never mind. So, yeah, there's another really annoying character in this movie who is equally as annoying as that stupid stalker guy from the first one. She has a crush on Dusty this time as an obsessed fan this time, and I just wonder, do we really need this? Do we really need an obsessed fan in this movie? Just following Dusty everywhere and being incredibly annoying. But she's pretty good, but she's pretty bad. I mean, she's annoying. She reminds me of that girl from Cars 3. I don't like her. But one thing is, and I'm gonna spoil it, and she's not really in the second half that much. She kind of disappears and doesn't do much later, and her and Dusty, thankfully, don't get together in the end, so it's not that bad. It's not that bad. Like, it's still weird, but not the worst thing ever, I guess. So, yeah, so Dusty gets injured, which the world building in this movie, like if you think the world building in the Cars movies or the first Planes movies is bad, I don't know. So in this movie they do assume that planes like work exactly like machines, which kind of contradicts a lot of the Cars movies world building, I guess, and like contradicts like a lot of people is genetically engineered humans, whatever weird car theories there is, like insects. I think Matt said that, but whatever. So they are machines in this movie, very clearly, even though that contradicts a lot of what's seen. But so you would think that it's solved, right? Are they consistent about this throughout the movie? Well, kinda, but it still goes into perspective of how was any of this built in the first place. Where are they getting the new parts from? Who built these planes? And with all this talk of lifespans and actual years, I mean, what is going on here? These VCU movies get more and more chaotic and broken the more you think about them. VCU means the cinematic universe, by the way. Best cinematic universe there is, I guess. So yeah, the movie is. So why don't I hate this movie? Well, yeah, again, while the first half is utterly abysmal and I hated it, basically everything in it. Oh, also Dusty, he at least at the beginning of the movie, he's really unlikable, which is kind of needed, but like he refuses to accept that he's injured, and then he kind of like spoils the entire town, and then he like acts like an idiot in front of like everyone at the fire department training thing, and acts like an ass, like ruins everything. What is up with this guy? I was asking. But honestly, maybe it was too harsh, because he does grow. Again, I like the mentor in this movie. He's better than Skipper. Blade. I like how he has a Blade, his name is. I like the TV I like that he was an actor in a plane TV show. A helicopter TV show. He's a helicopter. But yeah, I like the whole stuff. Oh, another issue here. In one fucking freaky scene, we see like plane birds. What is up with this universe? Now, okay, so why is the ending so good? Because it is the climax. It's so action-packed. It's so well shot. It's so chaotic. You don't know what's gonna happen with Blade, with Dusty, with the fire. It feels like a true big action scene, you know. And that's more than I can say, if anything, in like Cars 2, which was an actual spy movie. And I think this climax, which is genuinely great in my opinion, I mean, I'm explaining it quite badly, but I honestly just think it is like a classic, awesome action scene where Dusty finally does what he's told. Maybe I'm just relieved, but Dusty finally does a good thing of being so unlikable for the rest of the movie. But I do think that this movie works in that sense. I mean, it only does. So, what is it? This movie clearly does and I was impressed because I was expecting it to all end with Dusty quitting being a racer to focus more on being a firefighter, because that's where he belongs. I would hate this idea. I was dreading it because I thought that, it kind of just like cheapens the first movie and makes it feel completely pointless when like racing was all he wanted to do in the first movie, and now because he did something else he only wants to do that. Unless they film it as like a tragic story, like because of his injury, being a firefighter he has to do that because he can't race anymore, so he is finding new meaning. If they're going to give him new things, they have to either make him race or like not choose this. But I'm actually very surprised that no, he didn't quit racing. He's just the fire engine part-time, which, okay, sure, that's good. That's a better ending than I was expecting. I mean, it could be better, but I like it. I like it. Good ending, honestly. Not bad. Not bad. Not bad at all. Bad movies with good endings. They make you think it was. They make you think it was. They make you forget it was always. It was bad. It was really bad before. There's another movie like this, but I watched recently. Like, if a movie has a good ending, it could make you forget how bad it started off. And yeah, this movie did start off bad, but I'm not sure if it was incredibly too late. Like, I'd say the last 30 minutes, the awesome climax, and Dusty's redemption and everything. This all, this all makes for it. And it also just, like, makes, like, the ending like Cars 2 could still work. I mean, this guy's a firefighter and a racer, mate. Why didn't you choose to become why didn't you choose to just become a spy and a tow truck with it? That ending still makes no sense to me. Still makes absolutely no sense to me. I am sorry, Cars 2 fans, but please tell me how that was a heartwarming ending. But anyway, In conclusion, Planes 2 is a pretty bad movie with a pretty good ending. I'd say it's better than Cars 2. Actually, I'd say it's better than the first movie. The first hour is no competition, much worse than anything the first movie or the entire Cars franchise ever did. But the last 30 minutes is probably better than anything in the Cars franchise ever did. Definitely anything in the first movie. This movie definitely isn't boring, unlike the first movie. So I do think it is better in that sense. Because the first movie was just boring. This movie, I think I've talked about it for an awfully long time. Much longer than the first movie. So, I'm going to stop now. Because we need to talk about the reception. Was this movie received any better or worse than the first? Okay, now, like me, the critics did clearly like Fire and Rescue a lot more than the first one. It having a significantly higher rating. It's still not good, but it's honestly higher than Cars 2, which is weird. And it's so much higher than the first movie, although it's still rotten, you know? It's not good, but it's still rotten. At least it's an improvement. I mean, that's what you wanted, right? Other than that, there's also some, the box office ratings. Well, it was a downgrade on the first movie this time. I mean, it wasn't awful, but it grossed much less on the exact same budget as the first movie. Maybe because of the critical reception, but it definitely wasn't real. It definitely was only decently successful. Kind of like as successful as something like Epic. Not a failure, but not really a success either. So, like every one of these videos, we come back to the question. The question I ask. Why does no one remember this movie? Well, two movies. Why does no one remember these two movies? Well, I want to say because they're bad. But, in my opinion, they are overhated. They're not the worst movies ever. I've seen worse over the videos I've seen on my YouTube channel, and these are far from the worst. They're still not good, but if you have a movie which is truly bad that no one remembers, please leave it down in the comments. Actually, I'm opening up requests for the first time on this show because I've only got a few more episodes on the pipeline which are fully about revisiting my nostalgia. And I want to keep doing this series indefinitely. I can make so many episodes of this, and I just like doing small videos like these ones in between the big ones. So, while this was a bigger WD Nor than usual, I still think that it's interesting to look at. And I don't just want to stick to animated kids movies either. Any movie which you think isn't remembered by the general public, please leave it down in the comments below. I'd love to hear your suggestions. I want to branch out into different things, and I know. So, I want suggestions, please. But you don't have to do that, So, yeah. So, that's the end of the video. So if you liked it, please press like and subscribe. And if you dislike the video, put the dislike and leave a comment. Leave a hate comment, because we love to keep the algorithm happy. I'll see you next time on this channel.